to the bold analysis. I want to do a critical analysis about the 90 minutes Deputy President's presidential debate. And I see something. There is one candidate that had an approach of the debate as a contest, and the other person had a concept. And you could really draw the line in terms of clarity of thought, a test of independence, so that you don't just say whatever is in the template, or you just make sure that you can also give your personal stand on some issues. And having watched through, I saw a strategy by Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua that was very different. While the people that prepared, or rather might have briefed Martha Karua, and by the way, I am not sure whether Martha Karua attended the Deputy President's briefing session, because I've only seen photo of Rigathi Gachagua. While Martha Karua seems to have sat down pretty comfortable and just prepared on the general approach of this, the Kenya Kwanza team, because of the way gullible their candidate is, they decided to give Rigathi Gachagua a template. And that template was on making sure that you push Martha Karua to the corner, and pushing Martha Karua to the corner is going after President Uhuru Kenyatta. And if you follow that analysis keenly, you'll actually realize that Martha Karua found herself in a very difficult situation, moreover trying to defend President Uhuru Kenyatta at the expense of what they stand for as Azimio. And I think in this campaign, it is becoming very difficult for Azimio la Umoja to explain and to evade defending President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that is where I think Rigathi Gachagua team decided to push it into.
To start with, I'd like to tell Honorable Mother we are not here to fight President Uhuru Kenyatta. We are holding him to account on his utterances. He has said he's going nowhere. He's on record. That's not fighting him. He has said he assigned Mother Karua the role to jail people. I don't know how she'll do it. She's not a judge. She's not a court of law. That is the work of courts of law, to jail people. It's President Uhuru Kenyatta who has said so. He has said that she has put her there to take care of interests. It's his own record. I don't want to respond to dignify ridiculous accusations by social media.
All right, Mr. Gachagua, you have a national audience. What is the source of the money that was frozen? Because that is the context.
Pardon?
What is the source of this money that was frozen?
I have said many times that I'm a victim of blackmail by President Uhuru Kenyatta, whom I served as personal assistant. President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted me to abandon William Ruto and join him in fighting him, and I said no, because he didn't give me a good reason. And he blackmailed me. He sent Nancy Gitawe, his advisor, to threaten me that if I don't abandon William Ruto and join him, I'll face the music from the state.
Honorable
And
Gachagua,
one problem started after another. They froze my accounts, KRI froze all my companies, then they arrested me on trumped-up charges for 1.5 years, no evidence in court, nothing. I'm a victim of blackmail and persecution by Uhuru Kenyatta using the state criminal justice system to manage politics and deal with those who don't agree with him.
Honorable Gachagua, with all due respect, you've not answered my question. What is the source of the money that was...
The money that I have is well documented. I am an astute businessman. This is money that I made during the reign of Mwai Kibaki when the economy was thriving. I made over 200 million and invested in an account. And that account has been running for the last 8 years. And nobody has ever asked me a question. In 2013, when I supported Uhuru Kenyatta, I still had the money.
To push that debate into. And of course, there are many other questions that emerged and other observations that we make. But just to assert this point, the first question on Uhuru Ruto fallout, even though both candidates got a fair share of how they will handle it, but because Rigathi Gachagua was so rigid not even to go to imagine of such a fallout of deputy president, all that was done, actually Rigathi Gachagua mentioned that on his side, what happened between President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto was because Uhuru Kenyatta had some inferiority complex against deputy. Okay, I don't agree with that, but perhaps there is some truth to it. Martha Karua will then say, and I think the Martha Karua's response to the question was on the legal or other constitutional architecture, that the fallout, the public outburst between the two deputy president and the president does not, you cannot use a constitution to prescribe the behavior of leaders because it's more of a personal behavior. So on that, attack was on Uhuru. When the question on corruption, or not, let me not even to corruption, Kenyatta's role, and the Azimio going after Kenyatta's government, I think that question is what brought up the state capture. And while state capture was answered by Rigathi Gachagua as just something that President Uhuru Kenyatta is under his own mandate, trying to stifle other organizations and using that corruption war to fight other leaders, I think Martha Karua had a holistic approach to the question, that it is about the cartels that have taken government and are diverting money that should go to public for their private pockets. That was it. And of course, you could look at how the two sides decided, tried to answer it. Now, look at also the cost of living question. And the cost of living, now the price of unga has gone down. And I just want to use this. I am one person that is not very appreciative of this narrative by the Kenya Kwanza that the government have subsidized the cost of unga to campaign for Raila Odinga. And I dare ask a question. So if the price of unga is down, is it only supporters of Raila Odinga that are buying unga? I think that is helping everyone. So even to supporters of deputy president, they should actually appreciate that the pressure, and what Ruto should actually appreciate is the pressure that they were piling on government is perhaps what has informed that decision. Whether it is for political gain or not, I want to believe that Kenyans have a sigh of relief, and that should be appreciated. Kenyans will appreciate. Last time I did my budget, I'm telling you, it was hectic. Yeah. So that cost of living, the blame was on President Uhuru Kenyatta, on how President Uhuru Kenyatta has mismanaged funds and all that. And I think Martha Karua will then find herself in a very uncomfortable situation trying to defend some of the things that, according to him, President Uhuru Kenyatta had done. But despite the fact that Rigathi Gachagua was in government, he could not. And by the way, this is what made that debate brought that debacle at the debate. Martha Karua tried to portray Rigathi Gachagua, and by extension William Ruto, as a cohort that is in government, but seems not to be on the know on what exactly is happening in the same government. And that's the question of the agriculture subsidy. But they will try to fact check that and see. I have a question. So, did Rigathi Gachagua have an idea of the questions? I have a feeling, because for me, when he was answering about the state capture, he pulled a piece of paper. By the way, alijua aje? Let's just ask that question. Alijua aje ndiye akakuja na hiyo karatasi? And people are like, Rigathi Gachagua had some fair share of the questions of that. But again, it points out to what exactly that it is. But Martha Karua was looking more progressive into what they want to do in the future. Now, that had to be the approach, because on the other side of Kenya Kwanza, or rather Rigathi Gachagua, was trying to hit into the President Uhuru Kenyatta, and now for Mother Karua to answer that question, or rather to counter that approach, she had just to say what Azimio government is going to do in future. She looks more contextual and realistic, and there is an element of continuity. This is what I want to ask this question. After watching the debate, who do you think understands how government is run? Or who do you think knows what is at stake, or what can be done now and what cannot be done? Because it's a question that comes in. There is the context of why the real issues, because after 1 hour, I checked online, and the digital battalion for Rigathi Gachagua and the Martha Karua team, the Rigathi Gachagua team had started complaining on why the issues of, the common man are not there, what they want to do for agriculture, what they want to do for health, what they want to do for, infrastructure, what they want to do for the businesses, for the hustlers, all that. They wanted that. But I think it was just hypocritical. They might have realized that the organizers of the debate might have shaped that and had the framework to make sure that there is less that the Rigathi Gachagua are going to talk about, so that there are a lot of questions that William Ruto and Raila Odinga are going to answer. In this video, let's look at, I have a feeling that Rigathi Gachagua's direct attack, or rather diverting the attention and approach to going after President Uhuru Kenyatta, was very strategic. I don't know whether it worked for him or not, but again, some of us here, you can help us to get that answer, whether it worked out for Rigathi Gachagua. You see, this debate was one of the debates that was in the set. There were two Mount Kenya leaders and potential Uhuru Kenyatta's successors. Both Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua, whoever becomes the deputy president by default, shall have quite a big chunk of support, or rather influence, in Mount Kenya. And that's why you can see that this debate, it was more really on the personalities. No one was going there after the gender or what. But you could see that there was an element of Gachagua trying to address the Mount Kenya question. So for him, and I think what Kenya Kwanza team were trying to look at is, for someone watching that debate in Mount Kenya, does it make him or her to choose between Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua? Because that is what the conversation, that is the narrative that had been shaped. That after this debate, Mount Kenya is going to decide between Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua. So why he went after Uhuru, honestly, was to try to solve the Mount Kenya question. Because, and remember, the Mount Kenya script has been so easy. Spread the Uhuru venom. Uhuru is a problem. All the things that happen in the country is because of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But from that debate, listening to Rigathi Gachagua, I think I have a different perspective. That the attack on President was never about President betraying William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua have a personal difference with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And just like William Ruto has a personal difference with Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua also has that. And I think that's what came out from that debate. But this strategy will also be used to cover and evade Martha Karua contest. From where you are seated watching, you could actually ask yourself, is this debate between Rigathi Gachagua and President Uhuru Kenyatta? Because what Rigathi Gachagua did, he actually removed, or actually pushed Martha Karua to the periphery, and in any question, he was responding to President Uhuru Kenyatta. He was trying to say what the president now. This was strategic because I think on the merit of government, on the merit of manifesto, they wanted to evade more of what can be explained in the context of manifesto. Honestly, even after the launching of the manifestos, Raila Odinga have tried to mention more about what is in the manifesto. William Ruto have technically toned down and reduced the percentage of airtime they take explaining the manifesto. So the issue of Martha Karua contest was supposed to be evaded, and the best way to evade is to come above Martha Karua and say that I'm going to respond to President Uhuru Kenyatta. That was to dodge, and dodging that, Martha Karua was also in that set representing the gender. I don't know what you think about the comparative approach of the responses. When Martha Karua was asked a question on what will you do to curb corruption, I think it was more progressive in our government, we are going to make sure that corruption cases are fast-tracked and they are completed within 6 months. If you listen to Rigathi Gachagua, he actually said that he did not say what Kenya Kwanza are going to do, but he said what Uhuru has been doing. So you can see that Rigathi Gachagua went after Uhuru Kenyatta for them to have a comparative approach to solutions. And that is really something that played out. Now, if you ask me, that debate lacked one thing. Not lacked, but it had a deficit of independence, innovative solutions, out of the box thinking and out of the box solution. But there was more some bit of trying to adopt what is happening in the rallies. If you listen to the language by Rigathi Gachagua, it's the language, and he's inherited the language, the emotional appeal, the body behavior, and the wordings that they speak in the campaign rallies. And you'll actually ask, was someone speaking in a debate or someone speaking in a campaign rally on top of a car? While Martha Karua tried to bring in independent thoughts, trying to sample out what they can do and trying to pick into what they had done in the past, that even though it is not agreed whether the president, where someone should quit, whether someone should quit the job when there is a problem, I think Martha Karua gave an independent approach to how you can handle difference with your president. That one came out, but on the other side, there was an approach of just trying to speak what is already done. And for someone watching, you can say, what's extraordinary? If you ask me, perhaps we wait for the presidential debate. But on this, on the scale of 10, give Martha 6, give Gachagua 4. Yes, it was fairly. Gachagua did not perform poorly, honestly. I think many people expected a lot of language flows, but that happens. But on the scale of 6, he literally tried. Martha Karua, on his side, was just out because of the expertise and the experience and all that. And also the track record. I think Gachagua's record is a bit doomed by the corruption about those billions. So what are your thoughts about that debate?